Okay, this is part 2, guys. We are going to create or construct, excuse me, 2 more constructions. It's a perpendicular bisector, and then we're going to bisect an angle. I said in the first video we had 3 constructions. I was wrong. We have 4. So to do a perpendicular bisector, remember perpendicular lines are 2 lines that meet at a point, and when they cross, they form 90-degree angles. So a perpendicular bisector would be something like this, and if it bisects a segment, then it's going to cut the segment into 2 equal parts. Now, I just drew that. It doesn't look perfect. It probably isn't perfect. But using a compass, you can get a perfect perpendicular bisector. So what you need to do, and this construction is nice because it only has 1 setting. So what you want to do is you have your line here that you're going to bisect, and you want to take your compass, and to set your compass, you want to set it so that it is greater than halfway across the line, but less than all the way. So here, I put it on one endpoint and move it in a little bit. All right, so I know that that's greater than halfway, and it's less than all the way across. So now what I'm going to do is once I have it set, I'm going to leave the metal point on that point, and I'm going to draw basically like a half a circle on one side. And then, without changing my setting, I'm going to put my metal point on the other side, the other point on my line, and draw another half circle so they meet, and it kind of looks like a fish a little bit, or a mouth, as my videographer said. Happens to be my 9-year-old daughter, so.
Hello.
She's crazy, sorry. All right, so, but once we have those 2 points there, what we're going to do is where the 2 circles connect, we put our points, and then you use your straight edge to draw your line. And this line, as long as my compass didn't move at all, should be perpendicular to the other line, so it should form 90-degree angles. And both segments created by the line going through the segment should be equal in length. So that is our perpendicular bisector. And again, leave your construction marks. We want to be able to see those. All right, so let's flip over to the last page, and this is constructing an angle bisector. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bisect our angle, cut it into 2 equal angles, 2 smaller ones. So first thing you're going to do to construct an angle bisector is just like we did when we copied the angle, we need to make a piece of the pie. So we need to, and I'm just going to put a vertex in here. It's a little easier. Set my compass so that it's, the pencil's somewhere in the middle of that angle. And once I do that, with the metal point on the vertex, you're going to draw your piece of the pie. There we go. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you want to measure again where the arc crosses over the rays from point to point. So I'm going to measure from point to point. So I want it to look like this. All right, let me get it perfect. All right, measure from point to point. And then what you're going to do is, we don't have any additional angles to create, but from this metal point, from right here, I'm going to, in the angle, or sometimes it's outside the angle, I'm going to make an arc. And then I'm going to flip it to the other point. I'm going to make another arc. Okay, so again, you got that curvy X there. Put a point where those 2 cross, and then using your ruler, you're going to connect from the vertex to the point you created, and draw the line a little bit better than I did. It didn't quite go through my point. But if it does, it should go through the center of your angle. Let me redraw that for you guys. Sorry. My helper is laughing at me. All right, so there, you can see the second line looks much better. All right, and it shows our angle being cut into 2 equal angles. And that is it for our angle constructions.